All right, we are back from our break, and the party was making their way to the farmhouse that Sinrae has a message to deliver for. Um, Sinrae, the trip passes uneventfully, and you can see what you assume to be the farmhouse in question. Coming up, it seems to stand at the top of a little hill.
Can we keep an eye out for sheep?
Sheep.
Yes, I mean you've seen sheep as you've been going.
Yeah, but we want to see if the sheep down here are getting slaughtered too.
Right. All right. So you do see some sheep in the area. You don't see a shepherd.
Sort of odd.
Only we had a druid who could commune with the sheep.
They would probably say bah.
We got one on our asteroid.
Bah to your
Well,
question.
Oh wait, no.
Bah.
Lafdul can talk to animals. Lafdul, commune with the sheep.
Uh,
I don't need
so-
to commune with sheep.
I don't know that he keeps that spell on hand all the
I
time.
did actually memorize it, and I also had Speak with Dead, so I was wondering if I could use Speak with Dead on a dead sheep while using Speak with Animals.
I'm gonna say no.
That's too much of a stretch.
I think that's
Don't mind our friend here. He's just talking to the dead sheep.
I think you could do
You
one or
need
the
to
other.
memorize this. You need to memorize the speak with dead animal spell.
They told us
Speak with
that.
Dead works with animal corpses, I just can't understand them.
Is there anything out of the ordinary? Does it look like the house is maybe like nobody's been there for a
What is
while, or
perfect,
does it
Lafdul?
look,
Oh, I'm sorry.
or does it look like it's been like it's in use currently? Like, do I?
Closing in, you see the clearly a barn type structure where sheep would be held at night, and the doors stand open, and you don't see anyone around. You do see a couple sheep in the yard, just kind of like munching away on some plants, and more sheep outside as well.
Lafdul, I have a perfect idea. Cast your speak with animals and ask the sheep what has been attacking other sheep and killing them.
Oh, yes, that's the general idea, but I wanted to find a sheep that's within the same flock as a dead sheep.
Well, I don't think they keep the
Rather
dead
than
sheep
around
around
them.
the other sheep right now. 'Cause
Yeah,
that'd
but
be like a morale
what
killer.
he's saying is that he doesn't know that any of this flock's sheep have been killed.
Well, then we should go ask a shepherd.
Well,
But we
that's-
didn't see a
I mean,
shepherd.
You're at a farmhouse right now, so.
I'm gonna go knock on the farmhouse door.
Sinrae was about to do that,
All right.
so she can deliver the message. I was
Yeah.
trying to discern if anything was wrong first.
That's a good idea, Lafdul. If we speak to the shepherds on the top side, we can find out who's lost a sheep.
Then we can
So,
talk to their sheep.
Sinrae, since this is your since you're the one that has the message to deliver, do you want to get to the door and knock first?
Yes.
Okay. As you knock, you do hear a shriek from inside the house, just like clearly in response to your knocking.
Well, sounds like somebody in there is paranoid.
Sinrae's gonna call out, "Hello, is everything alright? I'm a courier from Brawl with a message."
You don't hear any response.
I'm gonna try the door. Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked, yes.
Well,
I'm going to look back at the rest of the party. Have your weapons ready, but try not to look threatening. It could just be somebody scared.
draw a
We
long
always scary.
sword.
Well, try not to make them more scared, guys.
Draw a long sword and shield. It's very serious.
She's going.
It's fault.
She's going to very carefully push the door open.
Okay.
Or pull it open, depending on how it swings.
Yeah, it
Are the
opens
windows
outward.
old?
Yeah. What about the windows?
Can we look through the windows and see what's going on inside?
As Sinrae is doing so, you can try, but it's pretty dark in there, so it's hard to see.
How did that scream sound like? Like somebody about to die, or
I
somebody
could
being
try-
shot?
It
or what?
sounded like the type of scream that you would hear from someone who was deathly afraid of something, like someone confronted with existential terror.
Oh, so
Okay.
like,
I think we better go in and don't worry about the windows.
yeah. Sword and shield heading in first.
Sinrae is going to go in first because she's trying to tell you, I think we were dealing with a frightened person, not a dangerous person. Have
Also-
your weapons ready, but
More importantly, Sinrae is the one who was had the message, got to the door first, knocked, opened the door. I mean, Ockar,
Okay,
if you
then I'll
want to
follow.
push past her, you can say that, but keep
No, I
in
won't be an
mind
asshole.
the
I'll
what's going on.
go
Braxon's
at
going to the,
Sinrae. Let's just keep going.
Braxon's
Well,
going to
hold
the
on.
windows because he knows he won't get past everyone.
Push in.
I don't think this is a case where we need to do that, but alright.
All right, so Braxon is looking in the windows. Sinrae opens the door and carefully goes in. You were saying something about like trying to talk to whoever's in there. Is that what you were
yeah,
doing?
she's gonna call out reassurances. Sort of, we're not here to hurt you. We're here to help if we can. I'm from Brawl, delivering a message to McKirk. If you need help, please come out and we will help you.
You are delivering a message to Rishtar.
Rishtar, sorry, wrong
Okay.
message.
Um,
Steve McKirk, not okay. There we go.
you see in this first room a dining room table, and there's clearly a half-eaten meal on the table, but it looks like it hasn't been touched in days. There's a few flies buzzing around it. And you see in one corner a middle-aged woman curled up in a ball, not moving, and you can hear some shuffling sounds from a doorway leading further into the house.
Is the woman clearly dead?
Um,
Lafdul, can you check the woman?
You're
with
not
your medical
sure?
Skills?
Lafdul stepped away, but I can have him go check
Yeah.
her. All right.
Yeah. Well,
Sinway will ask one of the others to check the woman, and she'll continue.
I'll
on
follow
to the
after
house.
Sinrae to keep in case something happens on her end.
Okay. Lafdul goes over to check the woman, and Sinrae, you're going through the doorway to see what the sound is?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, there's another ear-piercing shriek, and you see a middle-aged man in the corner of the room, knees up by his chin, arms both, like they go around it, and then they go to cover his ears and his eyes, and just, constantly moving. He's rocking back and forth, and he shrieked as you entered.
Hey, calm down. We're not gonna hurt you. I'm a
Rishtar,
paladin. I say as I hold up my holy symbol.
are you Rishtar? Sinrae is going to not approach and sort of hold her hands up to show that she's not armed.
He doesn't seem to really respond. You're not sure that he's even quite seeing you. Lafdul reports that the woman in the corner is dead.
We're gonna need to see to him.
Is there more noise in the house?
The kindest thing might be to knock him unconscious while we search the house and then take him back topside.
We may want to take him with if there's more noise in the house. If there's other creatures in the house, then they just turn around and kill him while we look for them.
Yeah.
You're not hearing anything else from the house.
Yes, and what I'm suggesting is that we search the house, but for his own good, he probably needs to be unconscious because we're not going to be able to take him up topside like he is. He's catatonic. I don't think there's any getting through to him, at least not with what we have, unless Lafdul or someone else has something that might get through to this man, but...
Braxon's making a circuit around the outside of the building.
Can I attempt to calm him with my charisma?
You can try.
Then I'm gonna try to see what I can do to calm him down by talking to him.
Alright, give me a charisma check.
Okay, so...
D20.
So, yeah. And my charisma is a 17.
Okay. Doesn't seem like it has made any difference.
Okay.
Sinrae is going to leave the care of the gentleman to the others and is going to start searching the room.
Okay, this is a bedroom, and you can see bits of food that you think were from that meal scattered about the floor. They look like chunks of meat from a stew of some sort.
Any evidence of claw marks or anything out the windows?
Nope. Lafdul reports that he finds no obvious signs of injury on the woman, so she was not, like, stabbed to death or bludgeoned. Let me go ahead and roll a healing proficiency for him. What is his score? Okay. Yeah, he has no idea what killed her.
I'd almost say fright.
Is there magic in the house? You cast detect magic to see.
You want to cast detect magic?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. You are detecting magic from both of the individuals.
Nothing else in the house?
Nothing else. No other magic other than, you know, what you guys brought with you.
What type of magic?
Yeah, was my question.
You are unable to determine the type of magic.
Oh. Lafdul, do you still have him detect magic or something?
I don't believe he does. He cast it at the tower.
Sinrae is going to start to look through the other rooms. She's looking for anything out of the ordinary for a farmhouse.
Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary, although it looks like chores have not been done in days.
That actually tells her a lot. Any sign that there were more than just the middle-aged couple living here?
No, you don't. You see one bed. No crib, no smaller beds, no evidence of children. Now that you're looking at them, you think that they're both maybe in their late 20s, so certainly not past you know, the point where they might have kids. So they might be trying. You don't know. Mm,
I'm not trying now.
yeah, well, the kitchen
But
is
one of them's
in
dead.
the kitchen is in disarray. You're not sure, what's going on there, but like it's just a mess. But chores haven't been done in days. At the same time, you do find that through the kitchen there is an open back door, and it just leads out into out into a field. There are more sheep out there.
Has Braxon got round there yet?
Sheep.
Yeah, you came around and find that and come in just as Sinrae is coming into the kitchen, kind of thing.
Does it look like it's been forced open from the outside?
No, it does not. You
Does
don't see any sign of forced entry.
Does the front door look forced?
No, I mean you opened it.
Yeah.
Leva would like to cast Dispel Magic on the man.
Okay, give me just a second.
I also warned the others to oh no, it's not. I cast it on the person, so it should be okay.
I mean, Sinrae is going to ask Braxon if he found anything.
Only thing I found, I think, is this door being open.
Yeah,
Was there any windows on the half of the house Braxton's looked at that looked forced?
No.
Right, Braxton's going to carry on making a circuit and then come in the front door.
They don't have any. The windows themselves just have sturdy shutters. Some of them are open, some of them are closed. So there's no like glass in the windows.
Yeah.
Right.
Leva's going to cast Dispel Magic. So go ahead and give me a D20.
There goes all the treasure.
I'm not in the area.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did warn you.
I think high is good.
High is definitely good, but let me roll level variation. Alright. You don't notice any difference. You still have your Dispel Magic. I mean, your Detect Magic up, so you didn't notice any difference in the magic emanations.
And he still behaves the same way.
Yes.
Okay.
Sinrae is going to join Braxton on the rest of his circuit and suggest that they go check the barn next while the others see to the man.
Okay.
Alright, Ockar was talking to the man and Leva cast Dispel Magic. Are you doing anything else to the man, or just kind of like unsure of what to do next?
I'm not really sure what to do next. I'm just gonna try to keep him from hurting himself.
He doesn't seem like he's violent or anything like that. He's just like with you there. He's kind of sobbing. He's trying to get himself even further into the corner, kind of thing. Like if you approach him, he like visibly seems to try to shrink back.
Okay. It's okay. Nobody's gonna hurt you. If anybody tries, I'll kick their face in.
And Braxon and Sinrae, so entering the barn, you see a couple sheep laying down in some hay, but they're just like resting, not dead or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Lafdul could talk to the sheep and find out if they know anything about their owners.
Or, considering they're just wandering around, they might have seen something go into the house, though I'm not sure how smart sheep are. I really only got exposed to sheep when I was an adult. Sheep are strange. Can there be were-sheep? Braxon, do you know?
Where sheep?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
They're
there
just
was a
so
time a few years back when I thought a lot of things were impossible that I think are possible now.
Where
just
sheep
so-
would be the best encounter.
they're just so fluffy, and their eyes are just strange.
So
They stare into your soul.
Lafdul to cast speak with animals?
Yeah, and talk to the sheep.
Okay. So he's not feeling well. He stepped away. What do you want him to ask? As player, I should say.
Because he gets 3 questions, doesn't he?
No, speak with animals. That's a duration thing.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's
Speak with
Well,
dead.
first of all, we should ask him what happened. We should ask them what happened to their owners.
Okay. So he casts his spell and begins asking, the sheep, what happened, and he relays that the sheep say that the let's see, what would sheep call people that take care of them?
food bringers.
Caretakers.
Yeah, we'll go with caretakers.
The shearers.
We'll go with caretakers. So he relays that the sheep says that the caretakers started acting funny about a little over a week ago. And they acted like the sheep were predators, is what he relays. That the sheep basically says that they seemed to think we were wolves or something. And were avoiding us, and it got progressively worse day by day. And one of them says that just the other day, yesterday is what Lafdul thinks he means. They heard a really loud scream from inside the house, which startled poor little Sean, who just came bolting out the back door.
Wait, Sean the sheep?
That's what he says.
Oh god. So, next up, maybe ask them if they know what's been killing sheep around here, if they know anything about that.
Be asking about where Sean is.
Oh yeah, where's Sean?
The sheep in the barn indicates another sheep that's out in the field that's just munching away on some grass.
Let's go talk to Sean.
Okay. Do you want to go talk to Sean, or do you want to ask this sheep about what's been killing sheep?
I'll ask that first, and then we'll go talk to Sean.
Okay. Lafdul relays that these sheep don't know. They haven't lost any of their friends.
Okay.
So then Lafdul goes over to speak to the sheep that the other one referred to as Sean.
Sean the sheep.
Yep. And
Is he made out of clay?
no. What are you gonna ask this one?
Ask him. I guess.
I guess ask him what happened to cause the loud scream in the building the other day.
So this sheep tells Lafdul that all he did was go in. He hadn't seen them in a couple days, and he was wondering what was going on. The back door was open, so he went inside, and he found the caretakers were huddled in the corner, and when he went up to sniff the woman, she just curled up in a corner and screamed and then wouldn't move, and that frightened him so much that he ran out.
I think she died of fright, like what happens with Leva's phantasmal killer.
Mm.
Have any of your sheep Lafdul ask if any of the sheep of his sheep friends have been acting strange?
Nope.
Braxton's going to ask if they've seen any strangers recently.
Other than us.
Other than us.
Nope.
Are they frightened? Is Sean frightened?
They don't really know what's going on, but you know, the caretakers have let them eat as much grass as they want, so they're pretty happy about that.
I guess ask them if they normally have a shepherd boy that looks after them.
No, the male caretaker usually takes them out. Hasn't done it in about a week though. It's very weird. But they've had as much grass as they've wanted day or night, which is fantastic as far as they're concerned.
So the caretakers have been so afraid of you guys that they haven't wanted to come out and take care of you.
Frightened? That's weird. Why would they be frightened of us?
Oh, Lafdul's got that spell. He might not be able to use it now. He's got that spell where he can borrow someone's memory.
That's not going to work on a sheep.
I think you meant the man.
I meant the man.
Okay. Let me see if he has that memorized.
How long ago was the timeline of Sinrae disappearing?
That was about a week, give or take.
So this has been going on for a week. She's been gone for about a week.
He does have mind read, yes.
Then we can use the mind read to look into the scared person's mind and figure out what happened to them a week ago.
Well, Lafdul can if he wants to.
Just what would make people think that sheep, which I know are strange, odd-looking creatures,
But they're so fluffy.
but
Poisoning.
they're so fluffy. Poisoning.
Some kind of magic that does a fear effect? Like, isn't there some, like the phantasmal killer, for example, but not immediately deadly?
Well, if you had something like that that made people think that real creatures look like other creatures.
I mean, sheep also look pretty scary at night if you get shine light at them. Their eyes do the glow thing.
I don't think Leva would know anything, but let's say, as the player out of character, there's stuff like grain with a special illness of the grain where that produces hallucinations and in the end death.
Well, would Leva know of any spells that could do it? Like, can we roll spellcraft and see?
She knows Phantasmal Killer.
I mean, you would have to, like, the player would have to have the idea. I'm not gonna. I don't allow spellcraft and then I tell you a spell kind of thing. So it doesn't work that way.
That would be easy.
Could be something psychic.
You could be onto something there, Leva. If they're getting food supplies in and they have food supplies in that make them think that sheep are monsters, but how would that explain sheep being torn apart?
It could be that people see the sheep as... There are some people out there that have their minds warped, like the farmers here, and they see the sheep as monsters and are trying to kill them to get rid of the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the sheep would have wounds from weapons.
Not necessarily. Not if they think they have to rip them apart.
Yeah.
I think there's more to this than we're seeing just from this. I think we need to get the who I'm going to assume is Rishtar back to the surface, the top side, and get him help.
Yeah.
And we gotta keep the sheep.
start talking to some of the shepherd boys, especially the one that woke up with a dead sheep near him.
And we
Yeah.
gotta keep the sheep away from the caretaker, because we don't want him having a similar fate to his wife.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I was suggesting we knock him unconscious.
I have a spell here that might help me in getting him to come with us. But when the effects wear off, then you will have to take care of him, because he'll see me as somebody who tricked him.
I don't think he'd know one way or the other at this point.
He's he's not really responsive to. I mean, like Ockar's been talking to him, so if it's something that would be, like
friend.
Yeah, that you would probably think that wouldn't work, because Ockar has not been able to get through to him.
Is there any of us who could just kind of? Do we have any way of knocking him out that doesn't involve hitting him over the head with a club?
I mean, do we have sleep or sleep potions?
Leva, do you know sleep?
No.
I
in
think
any case, even if I did, it wasn't. I would not have it memorized. But how does he actually react when we get closer to him?
I think you need a spell that removes fear.
He tries to, he's in the corner of the room, in a fetal position kind of thing, and he clearly tries to shrink back if you approach him.
We're either gonna have to grab him and drag him back screaming, or we knock him out now and take him back.
We might have to. If she died of fright, then if we just try to force him, then he'll just die as well.
Braxon's going to straight up say to Lafdul, "How does that spell of yours work? Can you cast it on him without us moving him an inch?"
Mind read?
Yeah.
Let me double check.
Because if Lafdul can cast that spell without us disturbing him, then it's probably best to do that now, without risking scaring him to death.
I believe it is ranged, but I want to double check.
I have an idea. Maybe we should get some people from the village to come help us.
Yeah, or is there another farm on the underside?
There's a lot of other farms on the underside. You saw some of the houses as you came out here, but you just didn't go to any of them.
Yeah, so we might be better off getting a farm. If we're going to get someone else, get someone from nearby.
Yeah, let's go. I'll stay here and keep an eye on him. You guys one of you guys head to one of the other farms.
Well, why don't we see if Lafdul can do his spell first, because he's alive at the moment.
Yeah, and it is ranged. He can cast it without, getting up close to him.
Yeah.
You want him to do that?
And then if he's scared of the sheep, we could close the doors and make it so the sheep can't get in.
Okay. So Lafdul casts the spell, and he reveals that what he read from the guy's mind was he was out on the moors, and he came across a dead rabbit. That he didn't see any wounds on it, but it was sitting on top of a rock, and he was like, this is weird. Certainly some crows or something would have pecked it by now. But he didn't see anything off with it. But a couple days later, his wife started making some stew with with some sheep meat in it, and Zakad is letting me know that I may have mixed up spells. Hold on a second. Let me double check.
Sorry, I've not been active much. I've just been feeling.
You said you weren't feeling well.
It's fine.
You're not well. You're not well.
Just lying on the bed and just listening.
But you've got mind read, 2nd level. Oh
would
yeah,
be
it's only
understood if you
surface
could-
thoughts. Yeah, it's
you
not
would
memory
have
read.
to-
Yep.
I would need to have emotion control or remove fear on him.
Right.
Right.
Get anything coherent, and that would take a day.
Well, you could
If you
still
cast Cold Person on him, then he'd be paralyzed.
for a
Then you
short
just tie him
time,
up.
yeah. But I mean, you do get mind read. So disregard what I was saying before. But you do get mind read, and it is a jumble of incredible fear, and it is definitely related to everything sheep related. So he is seeing that some of you have some woolen, pieces of clothing. The little bits of meat on the ground in this room from the stew. That's mutton. That's sheep meat.
Mhm.
And just the
Wait,
very idea of a sheep coming in here is terrifying to him. That's what.
Wait, that gives me an idea. Let's get rid of the mutton and remove the piece of the wool on us and leave that outside, and then maybe he'll calm down a bit.
Mm.
I still think our best bet is getting him topside unconscious.
Well, get another farmer to help us with that. I'm gonna see if getting rid of the wool and sheep meat will help him calm down enough to actually talk to us.
Where is the nearest farm from here?
You could probably get to another one within half an hour, 45 minutes.
I'm make sure nothing happens to this guy.
Sinrae will see if anybody wants to go with her to see if they can get somebody with a cart or something that can take him
Cart
topside.
Cart would be good.
He needs medical. I think he needs more medical attention that we have the ability to give him.
I can just carry him. We don't need a cart.
We don't want to carry him around the sheep because they'll kill him.
Well, someone from another property might be able to calm him down.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's also good to probably check on his neighbors to see if his neighbors are still among us.
That's a point.
Okay, so Sinrae is going off to another farm. Ockar is staying. Who else is doing what? I'm going to have Lafdul stay.
Lafdul can help me clear away the sheep stuff.
Yeah.
Lafdul staying's good, isn't it? Because he's a healy person.
So who else is going with Sinrae?
I'll go escorter.
Lever goes with Sinrae.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
And Braxon? What about you?
Yeah, Braxon go too.
Okay. Solas will stay behind with Lafdul and Ockar. All right, so you make your way to one of the farmhouses that you saw on the way, and you do see a couple of shepherds out with a flock of sheep as you're approaching the farmhouse.
We should wave to them.
I mean, it's probably their house, so.
Yeah. Sinrae hails them. Hello. I was a courier with a message for Vishtar, and we discovered there's been some problems at their farmhouse, and we need some help getting him medical treatment. And we figured he might trust you more than strangers.
Well, I mean, if you want medical treatment, then your best bet is, I suppose, Mother Weir up in town.
Yeah, I believe his wife is dead, and he's catatonic, so we might need.
What happened? Cat a what?
He's really, really scared, and isn't responding to anything. And we were hoping maybe if he knew you, he might let you help him up topside, or at least go with us to get him topside. We're really not sure what happened. The sheep were just wandering around, and the house was open, and we heard there was some trouble going around, but we thought that was mostly topside.
Yeah, there's no sign of a fight in the building.
It's very strange.
Well, So what is this? You say he's scared? I mean, what is he scared of?
We're not sure. He's so scared that he's
Sheep.
not
We know
talking.
it's a sheep.
Sheep.
Well, I mean, we know it's the sheep, but out of character, we know it's the sheep, but let's not sound like crazy people here.
Did Lafdul actually tell us that it was a sheep?
Yeah, no, from the mind read, he did get that he was definitely scared of the sheep, the wool, and the mutton meat.
So why not tell them? They seem to have developed a fear of sheep. Anything to do with sheep.
Because telling people on a small asteroid that don't like strangers that we talked to the sheep. And
we
the
didn't
sheep
talk to
said,
the sheep. We didn't talk to the sheep. That was from the person himself.
But she
That
has
was,
she has a point though that if he is too scared to talk, how do you know that it has anything to do with sheep whatsoever?
Yeah.
You don't tell people on a small asteroid that don't like strangers that you've been going into people's minds and doing magic on people.
Well, better than killing him by accidentally. If we have a way of figuring out why he's so frightened, and that is much better than frightening him to death.
But they won't understand that logic.
Yes, and Sinrae has
Who says we have to tell
etiquette to
him
know.
why? We know.
Yeah.
Just that he seems scared of the sheep for some reason.
Sinrae's trying to make it as simple as possible.
Okay, do what you want.
Yeah, you're the one. You're the one. You're the one doing it. So, so you do not want to make mention of the sheep. So,
no, not mentioning that they seem scared of the sheep. Just very afraid, not speaking, cowering in a corner, and then his wife is dead.
He doesn't seem to. You're not sure that he exactly believes you fully, but he turns to the boy with him and says, "Go get your brother. Come out here and watch the sheep. I'm gonna go with them and see what this is all about."
Thank you. Says we were here. I'm a courier from Brawl. I had a message for Rishtar and weather parties. It's brother-in-law's div up topside, and didn't expect any of this.
All right, let me actually see how he's really gonna react to this. You get a +3, right?
Yep. That's why she specifically mentioned she's a courier.
Yep. Yeah, I've met your kind before. Just give my boy a moment to get out here with his brother.
It's no problem. Also thought if there is something going around that your family would want to know about it.
Indeed. What with Yeah. Mm-hmm. You definitely get the impression that he was about to say something and then decided to shut his mouth. A moment later, a younger boy comes up with the older boy that the father sent him to get. And he turns to them and says, "Now you boys watch the sheep and make sure they get back in before nightfall. I'm going with them and see what's up."
Thank you, sir.
The boys look a little bit frightened, but they nod, and the older one says, "Yes, sir."
Yes, we will definitely not keep you past nightfall. I know you wouldn't want to leave your boys out here by them to deal with this alone.
He introduces himself as Toma.
I'm Sinrae.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming with us, Toma.
And you guys make your way back. He seems to be giving Higgimus definitely an odd eye. You think he's probably never seen a Giff before, but he's almost certainly heard of them. You're not sure what, like, you'd guess that he's not sure what to think of a Giff in person kind of thing.
Sinrae's just going to be sort of jovial about this. Oh yes, this is our captain, Corporal Higgimus. No, Giff are probably not the most common thing here, but assure you, he's one of the he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He's giving like as you're talking, he's giving like committal and non-committal grunts and mm-hms kind of thing rather than actually speaking.
That's a smart thing to do.
And you get back to the house of Rishtar.
So Braxon makes small talk on the way there. Has there been anything unusual happening here recently? We've heard of someone disturbing people on the top side.
Well, I mean, you know, there's better people to talk to about that. And we gotta see what's going on with Rishtar here.
Yeah.
He definitely does not seem to want to talk. So you make it back to Rishtar's house. Ockar, while they were gone, were you doing anything?
Well, I was getting rid of the mudding on the floor
Mm-hmm.
and making sure we didn't have any wool exposed to see if that helped him calm down any, so he didn't see any sheep stuff.
It didn't really seem to help.
Well, that was the only plan I had, so I'm just keeping an eye out to make sure nothing happens. He doesn't end up healing over, or any sheep come in and scare him to death.
Trying to talk soothingly to him.
Yeah, trying to make him less crazy.
So the rest of the party arrives with the other herder in tow, and seeing Rishtar like this, Toma is just like flabbergasted. He says, "I've never seen anything like this before. What did you say happened? Do you know?"
Apparently,
We're not really sure. Sinrae quickly cuts off Ockar. We found them like this. I knocked on the door and we heard this blood-curdling shriek, and I tried the door and we found his wife in the kitchen like that, and him here.
I walk around the outside. The back door is open, but it doesn't look like it's being forced. Doesn't look like there's been any violence here.
And the sheep are just wandering around.
and the woman doesn't look like she has any, like, weapon damage or anything, like, almost as if she just kind of curled up and died.
Never seen anything like it, and I've seen quite a few things.
I could take him back to my house and try to make him as comfortable as possible, but I think we need Mother Weir to look at him. You're going back to town?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can take him topside.
Maybe you should hand him the letter so that he can give it to Rishtar once he has his faculties.
Couriers do things by spoken word and memory.
Oh, okay.
Well, how about we take him back to town and
I think I'd be I don't know what's going on with him, but he shouldn't be moved far. I think that's a normal thing for sickness and illness.
All right.
Then let's take him back to your place.
And you're going back to town after this, right?
Yes, we'll send Mother Weir down, or escort her down if need be.
Yes, that would be best.
Would you be able to look after his sheep?
Yes, I'll have my boys do that, but it's getting a little late now. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
He turns to you, Higgimus, and says, I hate to ask, but do you think you could carry him? You look like that would be fairly easy for you.
Yeah, I could do that.
Do any of you have a hood or something that you could put over his face? I mean, he seems...
I could place my great helm over his face and turn it around.
You might snap his head off if you did that.
Cloth.
No, I just turn it around and then place a great helm on his head.
I don't know much about armor, but that seems... I don't know, that seems like it might be a bad idea.
Do you have a
I
sack?
have a sack.
Braxon's going to look around the house and see if he can find a blanket or
I'm gonna
something.
put a sack on his head.
Oh my god.
Does he not have a blanket in his bedroom?
Well, Ockar's already offered the sack, so
Okay.
Sinrae's like, who are these people and why am I adventuring with them?
Lafdul could use some of his bandages as a blindfold or something, if that's what the effect that you're going for is.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
what would bandages be made out of?
Cloth.
Calm.
Linen.
Well, yes, cloth. Well, there's many types of cloth.
No, it
Linen.
would be
That's
cloth.
okay. Linen. Yes.
So we bandage him with woolen bandages and he dies.
Yeah,
No.
no, it'd be linen.
All right.
Or linen, yeah.
Yeah,
Linen
as Ockar is offering this sack, and Lafdul comes up with the idea of bandages, Toma says, "I think the bandages would probably be better. Let's do that.
Or I could just lend him my cloak.
What's your cloak made out of?"
Oh, that's a good question.
It's made out of silk.
Probably wool.
I think we're better off with
Oh
the
no,
bandages.
wool would make him
Just do
go
the
crazy.
bandages.
So, Toma and Higgimus kind of carefully get closer, and he does shriek, and then stop moving.
Damn it, he's dead.
Except it looks
he-
like he's just lost consciousness.
Oh, thank God.
So Lafdul wraps some bandages around his eyes, and is everyone gonna go back to Toma's house to carry him?
Yep.
Can do.
Okay.
Are we sure the woman's dead and not just unconscious?
Yes,
Yeah,
Lafdul
Lafdul checked her.
confirmed that.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Sinrae is going to poke around a little more and just see if she notices anything out in the fields or anything.
Lafdul's got his speak with dead. He could maybe speak with her.
You wouldn't really learn anything that you
He'd
wouldn't.
be scared shrieking in his head.
Yeah, she probably just died from circumstances.
From the sheep sniffing her.
If he doesn't want to do it, then
Oh no,
If
I'm
he doesn't
fine
wanna
if
do
the
it, doesn't wanna
party
do it.
wants to do it. I'm
The
just
sheep licked her cheek and
offering
she
my
died
thoughts.
instantly.
I mean, do you want to? Let me put it this way, Lafdul. Do you want to do
It's
it or
up to
not?
you. It's up to you, seeing as you're here.
I mean, you as the player are not feeling well right now anyway, so.
You can ask. Yeah, I'll do it. She only recently died. I will
Don't
ask,
do it if you don't want to.
You don't
Yeah.
have to.
Well,
don't have
I
to.
don't know. I'm not really in a good mind state to think for myself.
Well then, let's
Then let's not do it.
save it for another time, and you can go sleep.
Alright. I'm just lying on the bed. So.
All right,
Listen.
so you, the party escorts the unconscious farmer to Toma's steading. He and his wife, get him into a bed. They make sure that they don't have any woolen coverings for him, and Toma says, "Now, you should just need to be, ask anyone in town, and you should find Mother Weir pretty easy to find. Tell her that Rishtar is seriously ill, and she'll come. She has many herbs and remedies that I'm sure can do something for him."
Okay then, we'll go find her.
How did you get down here?
We went to the docks and transferred over to the underside through there.
There's a slightly faster way. He describes another route that actually takes you to what he says is a very, very old dwarven passage.
Oh.
Is it the well?
No.
Ah.
It'll still take you some distance from town, but it's a little bit faster. For people who just need to get to town without any goods, it's faster because there's a pretty long ladder that you need to climb. And he says that should get you there in just about 3 hours, which is a significantly faster amount of time.
Okay, we'll take that way then.
Okay. So you guys gonna make your way right back to town just like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You estimate that you'll probably be getting back to town about when sun is setting.
So we get to fight underground monsters on a ladder.
Sounds like a fun way to spend a day.
I hear the dice.
Okay. It's an uneventful trip. It is a very long ladder, but at the gravity plane of the asteroid, there is a small chamber to easily transition, then climb up, and it takes you about an hour's journey south of town when you come out onto the surface.
Right. We'll make a note of where it comes up so we can come back the same way if we need to.
Yep. All right. So you get back to town, and are you gonna immediately look for Mother Huir?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, we need to fight her.
She might need to prepare stuff.
Okay. Just asking the first person you see, kind of thing.
Yeah, going like, excuse me, do you know where Mother Weir is?
The man kind of looks at you suspiciously, like why you'd be asking, but then says, "Yeah, house is on the edge of town over there," and he indicates this house here.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna hand him 5 gold pieces for giving me information.
Oh, jeez.
Paladins made of gold.
Thanks, I guess. And with that, he makes his way to the pub.
Ockar, you need to watch how much gold you hand out to people.
That's why
It's
the
given
pub
to good
guy was so
causes.
nice.
I'm giving it to people who help us.
He's
Lafdul
making
helps
himself a
all
thief
the
target.
time.
He's making himself a thief target. That's fine.
Hey, and if thieves come after me, I can beat them up and throw them in jail.
All right.
Right, let's go see
I
Mother
was
Weir.
probably wondering why Lafdul and Sinrae just started laughing.
All right. So you make your way to her house. The outside is not really any different than most of the other houses in town. There is one that you noticed was kind of brightly decorated on the exterior, but it is not this one.
Right.
And who's gonna knock on the door?
I'll knock.
Okay. After a moment, an old woman with a cane, she's kind of hunched over, but still appears, pretty spry for her age, opens the door. She's wearing bright clothing that you would typically associate with the Appaloosa, which are kind of like space gypsies.
Oh, right.
And she smiles at you and says, "Ah, the strangers. What can I do for you? Have you heard of my famous readings? Are you here to find out your future?"
No, man named Ishtar, right?
Rishtar.
Rishtar is very ill. We've been asked to come and get you so you can help treat him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Do you know what is wrong with him?
He seems to be in great fear of sheep.
He's pretty much catatonic.
Is he there with his wife?
His wife
funny
sadly passed.
His wife sadly passed, but he's with another farmer. What's the other farmer's name?
Toma.
He's currently with Toma's family.
Yeah, we've taken him to Toma's house.
When you mention that his wife has passed, she kind of covers her mouth and has a shocked look on her face. Oh, that poor dear. And they were just trying for children not so long ago.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I will make my way down there forthwith. I just need to collect some herbs. I do thank you for letting me know.
Would you like for us to escort you?
No, I would be okay.
Okay, well, be careful.
Oh, I always am. Thank you for informing me.
It's no problem. Yes, it was quite a shock. I'm a courier and had a message for him, and there didn't seem to be anything wrong with his wife. She was just curled in a ball, passed away.
She takes your hand, Sinrae, and pats the back of it and says, no. I'm sure that once he's fine, you'll be able to deliver your message, my dear. And do come back tomorrow. I'd be more than happy to read your fortune.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, miss, and hope you have a good day besides this. We're have to do some investigating into some of the other goings on around here, like the mysteriously dying sheep and stuff.
Okay. With that, she closes the door, and you hear her shuffling away from the door inside.
Well then, what now?
Maybe we should talk to Braxon's sister and Div if he's there.
He should be there.
Yeah, probably.
Might make him a bit more forthwith with information.
Yeah. Let's go there, see if he's in, see if he's out. Either way, we'll talk to him or my sister.
And if nothing else, we should also check on the drunk gentleman to see if he's more with his faculties and maybe can answer some questions about his daughter.
Okay. So you make your way to Div's house and knock on the door. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. Ravisa opens and seems kind of surprised to see the entire group there. And she kind of looks at you, Braxon, apologetically and says, I'd be happy to host all your friends. Unfortunately, I don't believe we have the room for it.
Well, we just wanted to chat.
Well, I understand. We don't really have that much room. Part of the house is kind of set aside for warehouse. It like half of the building is warehouse for goods to be distributed to the other members of the community.
Right.
Sinrae is going to turn to the rest. Just while Braxton's talking to his sister, why don't we see if the gentleman we helped has gotten home safely?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay, so Braxton is going to go speak with his sister while the rest of you are going to try to find Finnan?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Alright, so are you just going to ask someone on the street where Finnan's house is?
Yes. Well, if
Well, hang on. Braxon could ask for a visa.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Alright, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I
What
did
my
hear
friends?
that Div took him home. He might be at the pub or he might be at his home. She gives you quick directions on where it is. He actually lives outside of town. So on the map up here, I will go ahead and show you where that is. So it's a little bit farther. Oops, did I?
I can't see a mark.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I see it.
Yep. So, yeah, it's right here. A bit beyond Lurik's camp.
Okay.
So the rest of the party is going to head down there?
Seems like a plan.
Alright, so Braxon, you go in with Ravisa, and Ravisa tells you that Div is down at the pub,
Yeah.
as he is most nights. which she then says, luckily he doesn't drink too much.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to specifically ask her about, talk to her about, anything like that?
Well, I'll give her a quick rundown. So there's been a bit of a development on the underside. My colleague there, Sinrae, she went to deliver a message to Rishtar, and we found Rishtar's wife was dead from fear, and Rishtar himself was curled up in a ball, and he seems to be scared of sheep.
Alis is dead? Oh, that's terrible. They were trying to have children.
Yes,
but
we
Rishtar's
heard.
okay? The rest of you aren't here. The rest of you aren't. No, the rest of you aren't here.
Ockar, yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Well, physically, there's nothing wrong with him, and physically, there was nothing wrong with her. She just seemed to drop dead from fear of sheep.
That's strange.
It's very strange. I mean, my friends that use spells, they seem to be scared of the meat of sheep and clothing of sheep.
Do you think this is something that Artie could have done?
I don't know. I mean, this stuff about Artie doing this, he's been here 6 months, hasn't he? And it's not been happening for 6 months. So, I mean, it's possible, but I would have thought it would have started happening earlier.
I suppose, but I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, well, my friend Lafdul has a spell that can look at people's memories. So maybe he can. He's got a spell that can talk to dead people. Maybe he can talk to Alyssa, and she can tell us something.
I would recommend you not let that be known to any others here in town. I don't know how they'd react.
Does sound kind of weird. Do you tell people about the work of our god Patar, or do you keep that quiet?
She kind of looks at you sheepishly and says, "It would not go over well here."
Yeah. Same as back home. What with everyone there liking Celestian. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue to try and find things out on the quiet, but it's weird that if this was a monster, I could go find the monster and hit it. But this is something we haven't been able to work out yet.
Well,
have you heard of anything else?
Not really. Nothing to my knowledge has happened today.
Well, we found Finn and he got brought to town.
Yes. Well, I mean, ever since what happened to his daughter, he insists that she's still alive, but many people do when they lose a loved one.
It's possible she is. I mean, if there's a cloak with blood on, doesn't have to be her blood. It could be Artie's blood.
I suppose, but
could be someone else's blood.
But then where is she? Why hasn't she come back?
I don't know. No, it's all a mystery.
He's been in the drink ever since, really, and no one can seem to get him out of it. Mother Hreer seems to have the best, when he's when he's like this. She went to see him today, and hopefully he gave him a little something. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if it's worth me talking to Div. Div knows anything.
Specifically about what? Finnan? I'm asking about the game.
Yeah, Finnan or Ristar.
Ravisa would tell you that she can't think of anything that he would know that she doesn't.
Yeah.
So if there's a question that you have, you can ask her, and She
Yeah.
feels that she would be able to answer it just as well as he.
Yeah. Well, have you heard of anything unusual happening on the underside? I thought it was all happening on the top side.
Oh, no. There have been sheep lost down there, too.
Right, so whatever's doing this is something that can cross the gravity plane, which means it's less likely to just be an animal.
Well, animals can cross the gravity plane, too, if they... I mean, it depends on the place.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But if it's an animal, I'd expect it to kind of hang around one place.
Yeah, I don't know. You have anything else that you want to ask her?
No.
Okay. All right, then the rest of the party, you're heading to Finnan's house. And I see Sinrae was suggesting that you also visit Artie's house. Rest of the party?
I guess that's what we're doing, yeah.
All right.
That's everyone except me.
Yeah.
Just in case you forgot.
So, all right. So you guys are making your way to Finnan's house. It's pretty easy to find. It's stands out, and he's actually a more of a farmer than a herdsman. You'd guess that he grows potatoes primarily, but he's got a few other things growing in some other small fields around. Being that it is fall, it's not exactly. I mean, it's like post-harvest and everything like that. So.
Does it look like anybody's in? Is there like smoke from the chimney or anything?
You do see a flickering light from one of the windows that you'd guess is a candle.
Sinrae is going to approach and knock on the door.
Okay. You hear some shuffling inside, and after what, given the size of the house, you would say is an extended period of time, the door opens and you see Finn in there, looking very haggard and kind of clutching his head. Yes.
Finnan, wanted to make sure you had gotten back home all right. We had found you earlier.
Yeah. Yes. Did you see me out there?
Yes, sir. We would like to help you if we can.
Do you know where my daughter is?
We'd like to get to the bottom of that. If do you have any depictions of her, or can describe a certain, like, does she have a necklace she liked to wear or anything to that nature? We've found missing people before, and if she is still alive, we would like to help find her for you.
I don't. She said Artie liked to draw her, but I don't have anything, and he did something to her, and I'm really not feeling well today.
That's fine enough. Could you point us in the direction of Artie's home? We'd like to check it out and see if we can find anything that others might have missed.
He kind of seems to like take a moment to process exactly what you're asking, and says, it's up at the base of the hill, and he kind of gives a vague direction in this direction.
Okay. Sinrae is going to turn to the party. Does anybody have anything that could help him with his headache?
I don't think my lay on hands will be any good.
Lafdul probably has some herbs. Let me do a proficiency check for him. No, at this time he does not.
We will leave you to feeling better. Perhaps we'll stop by tomorrow when you
Mother,
might be.
Mother Weir gave me something. I'll be fine by morning.
All right, we will stop by and talk to you tomorrow morning.
And he closes the door.
Does he? Just
Sounds
out of
like-
curiosity, do I hear a lock?
You hear what you think is a bar, a crossbar
Okay.
being placed.
Sounds like
He's mostly worried that he'd be vulnerable to somebody that might not want us to talk to him in the morning.
Yeah.
sounds like he's got a monster of a hangover.
Yeah, being brought back to sudden sobriety will do that. Sinrae says as if she has never experienced that before. No,
How often do you drink?
not often anymore. Sinrae clears his
Right.
notes. I think we should go check out Artie's house. Do we want to pick up Braxon on the way back through?
Yeah, sounds like a smart plan.
His sister might also know a more exact location.
Yeah, so you get to Div's house, and you do not see Braxon. Do you want to knock on the door?
Yes.
Okay. So, Braxon, you were just about finishing up with talking to your sister when there's a knock on the door, and you both go to open it to find the rest of the party there.
Yeah, we finished talking to that guy.
Oh, how is
Yes,
Finnan? He's probably not well, is he?
He's got a monster of a hangover.
Hmm.
Yes, we were actually wondering where Artie's house was. He mentioned that Artie drew his daughter a few times, and a depiction might help us uncover something.
Well, I mean, I can certainly point to where it is. I don't know that it would help much, but she does give you vague directions that would be enough for you to find it.
Out of curiosity, did she have any other suitors that would have been not pleased with an outsider getting her affection?
Everyone about that age?
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Whether they would be... I mean, certainly no one was happy with her seeing a stranger, but... I can't imagine anyone doing something to them.
You never know what some people might do out of what they think is love, and it's really just them being a bit crazy that day.
Jealousy and possessiveness will make people do incredibly terrible things, but let's hope this is something else and we can hopefully find them. We've found people in more dire circumstances still alive, so there might be hope.
I still have the theory that they might have eloped, but okay.
There's always hope.
There's always hope. It's we don't have enough information, which is why we need to check Artie's house.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what was my message to Rishtar? Was it just farming business stuff?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
basically someone was putting in an order for wool for next shearing season with a promise for payment that in the message was also like saying because I know that you've got very high quality wool, I'm willing to pay 10% more than what was paid last year.
I think in his current state, he doesn't even want to think about wool.
No,
Yeah.
probably not. But yeah, it was as far as you can tell, it was a fairly standard transactional message.
This, Sinrae has one more question for Braxton's sister. Has
Yep.
anybody been trying to, say, buy up a lot of the herds?
Not that I'm aware of. We really only sell wool, not sheep themselves. People buy
I
when
meant
they've lost some sheep or when they want to expand their herds, but
has anybody been trying to expand their flocks by buying other people's sheep or taking over their properties?
not that I'm aware of, but Div would definitely know that, and he doesn't always talk to me about the business on the island.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for your question, for your answers, and I'm sorry we interrupted brother-sister time.
Oh, it's fine. I think we just about finished up anyway.
Braxon, do you want to come with us out to Artie's?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right.
I'll see you later, Ravisa.
You too, Braxon. All right, so you head out using the directions that Ravisa gave you, and you do find, after a time, a what can basically be called a shack. It looks like it's a repurposed old house farmhouse that was not in great repair, that have just had some basic repairs done within the past year to make it, say, not freezing in winter, and not have too many breezes and not leak too much, kind of thing. But it's definitely seen better days, and in fact, you would say it looks like there's a second room that's been demolished and not been restored. So it's smaller than it originally would have been.
I guess they were in the middle of remodeling.
Or it was just supposed to be a summer home.
Or someone found a damaged building to move into and didn't have the money or the skills to bring it back to how it was.
Or maybe they were just squatting here.
I mean, if they were an artist, they might have been cheap place to stay that wasn't camping, considering there's not an inn here. And
yes, one of those starving artists.
Well, there's not exactly many places to stay, and I doubt the locals rent rooms to strangers.
Okay, so you're still a little bit away, so you're closing in on it. Are you doing anything on your way up?
I'm just sort of seeing if I notice anything out of the ordinary or hear anything strange.
Okay. You are going up what amounts to a small trail. It's a bit muddy because of the frequent rain, but it's clearly seen traffic. Probably more so when this place was in good repair than now. And you get up to it, and you see that the front door is only barely hanging by one of its hinges, standing wide open. And everything inside is in disarray, and it looks damp. You can see some of the thatching on the roof has fallen in and not been repaired.
Is there any pictures that look intact, or?
You don't see any pictures at all.
Okay.
Does this look like the villagers broke in?
Well, it looks like someone broke in, but it's impossible to say who or when.
Right.
Other than the fact that it's at least days ago.
Yeah. Sinrae is going to dig around, see if she can find a journal or any drawings or anything.
You do not find anything of the sort. You do find some spare clothing and stuff like that, but it also looks like the place has been searched as well.
Are there any art supplies?
There are not. There is dried blood on the floorboards at the entrance.
Well, wherever Artie is, he took his art supplies with him.
Do we know what sort of art he did?
Hard to say, but
You do not.
Because Lafdul's got that spell for finding things.
Clearly, it was the art of murder.
oh, art supplies
I
are
mean,
expensive.
if we
you
knew that
didn't
he...
overly
go on.
trample this place, you could use Ockar's direwolf to track the scent, possibly.
Our wolf is still on the ship.
I
because
know
don't
it's not
want
here,
to
but I'm just saying for future case, in case you wanna have.
Yeah.
It's definitely Rain has definitely gotten in here, so Ockar would probably think that there isn't
It's
a
probably
scent
God.
that it can follow.
If there was a scent here, it's been washed away, most likely.
Can I search for any loose floorboards or any like hidden nooks that something could have been stored or hidden in?
The nook or cranny.
All right, you spend about 20 minutes searching the small shack, and you don't find anything obvious. No loose floorboards that seem like they could be lifted up or anything, or hidden cubbies or anything like that.
Well, I'm stumped. Be like, well, I mean, I suspect when he left here, he was alive, since I don't see any art supplies, and I imagine those are expensive.
It does depend a lot on
the type.
Yeah, the type of art supplies. There's a lot of footprints out front.
And we don't know what his shoes are like.
Well, I mean, you did hear about, that a group of townsfolk came up here. So.
Yeah. So they must have come up here, broken in, and if he wasn't here, he's got scared off of coming back. He might have even seen her get attacked.
Can any of us track? Like, would any of us be able to? Yeah.
No.
You don't have that party
footprints.
member anymore.
Yeah, if only Yeldon hadn't deserted us.
Only we could tell from the footprints, just from looking at the footprints, are there any clear footprints going up further into the hills?
Nothing that any of you could follow, if there are. So that is something that you would need tracking for. I mean, you can clearly see that there's a lot of footprints here, but it's also been a number of days since all this happened, so. Lafdul does remind you that you'd agreed to share any information with Luric.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
we need to go and meet with him.
Let's meet with Luric, and I'd say tomorrow we stop by Finian and talk to him again. And
Should we ever think about what we share, or are we going to just share everything and trust them?
I don't think we have any reason to hide information.
Well, it's a question of whether you trust him or not.
I think we should
The general details they're going to hear anyway from villagers, so we should share all of those. But there might be a few. There might be a few details we want to hold back, just in case they were involved and they let those details slip.
Like the
I
fear
would
of
not
sheep.
tell them any names. I would not tell them any names and where exactly we were. I don't think that's any of their business.
I'd say, well, the names doesn't matter. They're here to talk, especially since it was a well-known young couple about to have a child, wanting to have a child. I'd say leaving the sheep part out.
Sheep, yes. We don't want people thinking that they've gone crazy and that sheep are trying to kill them.
Well, one, if somebody it's a good way of somebody drops something and let's not start an inverted panic because they could start asking people about sheep fear, and then next thing you know, there's tales of monstrous sheep eating people.
Yeah,
And
but
that
if
would
they
just
don't know,
confuse the issue.
if they don't know, then they can create anything they want, and it could be much worse than sheep. Don't forget that. So trying to keep something like that back, and they may actually hear it anyway tomorrow, the next day, or the day after. Then there's, I don't see the problem with that. Quite seriously, and they are adventurous. They are not, they don't live here. Before you brought up that people live here and they're suspicious and they're not open towards foreigners. Okay, I accept that. But with people who don't live here and who come here from
I think
outside,
we're going to be calling this adventure "The Mystery of the Monstrous Sheep."
Well, what I'm saying is that the sheep aspect is a good, like when the police list stuff about a murder in the paper, they leave out certain details. So if somebody tries to, if somebody confesses or they get a tip, if somebody mentions something like the sheep scared them, or something about the sheep being involved, that sort of hints that maybe they know more than they're telling. Hiding the name wouldn't last long because they're going to find out the names anyways if they talk to anybody.
Not necessarily, because people are suspicious and they are not open towards foreigners, so they won't tell them. Don't forget that.
That's true. Well, anyway, I propose we give them the general details.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't look like we're holding anything back, but...
Mm-hmm.
Right, but if you don't give them the name, then...
Yeah, we can give them the name.
Okay, so...
I really don't see a problem in sharing with the adventurers the information we found.
Yeah.
And if they turn out to be bad people, all the better that we can go after them.
Well,
but you think that we should tell them about the sheep as well, correct?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
So the fear of sheep, you don't have a problem telling them?
No.
Higgimus.
No.
I'll leave it up to the rest of the group.
The only thing I would suggest is that you...
I leave it up to the captain.
Hold on. What were you saying, Lafdul?
The other thing you might not want to mention is that healer person, that gypsy, in case she gets put in danger. Because it was going on trust.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's a good idea.
Sinrae is going to suggest that tomorrow after we talk to Finian, that we go back to Artie's house and go up the mountain, go up the hill, back up to the tower from that direction to see if we come across anything.
Yeah, I've not been up to that tower yet. I'm also wondering if there's it looks like there's a cliff next to the tower. I'm wondering if there's some sort of entrance into the tower from below. We did find that dwarven passage, so maybe there's something similar.
Yeah. And since this is a good way that he might have fled.
Oh, when we came through that dwarven tunnel, was there any side?
No. There weren't. No.
Okay.
There were ruins at the top and the bottom, but nothing inside. It was clearly specifically designed to get you from one side or to the other. Also, I'll point out that whether it was dwarven or not, you guys couldn't say it. That's what you were told.
Yeah.
All right, so the party goes down to Lurk's camp to share with him the information that you've already said. They, unfortunately, for their part, don't have anything much to share. They did say that they were out to the east side of the swamp looking around, and they did see a figure in the distance on the moors, but it was too far and a little bit too foggy for them to identify who it was.
Mm. And that wasn't the same time we found Finnan.
That was a lot farther out, so no. I mean, it may have been a similar time. It's a little hard to say for sure, but it could have been Finnan. There's just not enough information to make a judgment one way or the other.
Right.
Fannin really gets around, doesn't he?
He's out looking for his daughter. Like, that's kind of known that he goes out calling for her and stuff like that, so... when he's not drinking in the pub.
I'm gonna feel bad for the guy if it turns out that his daughter just ran off with the artist.
Alright, where were you guys going to camp? Were you going to camp up on the... at the top on the hill? Or did you want to camp down here?
I'd say we camp down here.
Well, if we did up there, we could get a chance to maybe check out the ghost rumor
True.
thing. See if
I
that
think
actually
staying up at the tower is probably a great idea.
Okay.
And then we could figure out what the ghost stuff is about.
Alright, so you guys are... Is everyone in agreement? Or at least not caring?
Yeah. I'm
Seems
up for
like it.
Okay. So, you make your way up to the ruined tower. Are you going to camp inside the tower or outside along the edge?
Outside.
How does the inside look?
Well, there is some stone flooring inside. I mean, it's ruins and rubble everywhere. But you could probably clear some space or something like that.
Yeah, inside sounds good. We could take out the
Leva will
rubble.
go inside. Leva will be inside.
Okay.
I guess I'll go inside then if everybody else
Yeah.
is.
Sounds fine.
Alright, so when we come back at the next session, we'll pick up as you get up to the top and start making camp.
And get eaten by monsters to look like sheep.
We get eaten by grooves. They're fluffy.
And Sinrae, you were thinking that in the morning, basically check the hillside straight down to Artie's house, see if you spot anything?
Yeah, and then check with Finnan.
Okay.
Finian.
It's
Worst
Finnan.
case
just in
scenario.
case.
I could always use animal summoning 3 and summon all the sheep on this asteroid.
Yeah, but then we're gonna get in trouble.
Animal Summoning 3 actually has a smaller range
Does
than
it?
Animal Summoning 1, yeah.
Oh. Don't spoil my
If
fun.
only we could summon all the sheep on the asteroid, then we could get in trouble with everybody.
Not sure if you could actually summon all of the sheep anyway. I don't think it has enough hit dice. Alright, so I'll make notes of what you want to do, and we'll come back next time. We'll see what you guys find.
You do the XP before you sign off?
No,
So
no, you guys
we-
get no XP.
So we got it on record,
Alright.
so if we miss out... And...
How many XP do I lose for Braxon for making bad jokes?
1 million.
Right, I'll go back to -1 level then.
Yeah. Alright, so... Braxon, you get 500 experience points. 500 experience points for Higgimus. 400 experience points for Ockar and Lafdul. 300 experience points for Leva. And 900 experience points for Sinrae.
Ooh.
Nice.
See, you were saying sorry about taking the lead, but it gets you experience points.
I didn't want to be talking over people.
Was that taking anyone up a level? I'm kind of imagining
I'm
not.
sorry. You cut off for me? I can't hear what I got.
You got 400 experience points.
Okay.
I sadly have not gone up a level yet.
Because I feel like there was someone saying that they were super close.
It wasn't Braxon.
Might have been Solas.
I think it was Solas.
Okay, well, he's not getting any because he wasn't here, and there wasn't stuff that his character was directly doing.
Hmm.
Yes, another session in which I can keep you guys down.
Yeah.
Keeping us down.
Yeah, well, you
Oh,
wait.
You are the man. You were the
You
one
wait till
keeping us
the-
down.
You wait till we find out that the sheep are evil, and Braxon can get millions of XP for bashing sheep on the head.
Look, if I was going to pull anything from one of the April issues of Dragon Magazine, it wouldn't be the Death Sheep. It would be the Blink Woolly Mammoths.
No, the Death Sheep!
No, Blink Woolly Mammoths.
No, Death Sheep. Death Sheep.
Everything's better with Blink Woolly Mammoths.
Hey, it could be worse. We could be dealing with cows. With halberds.
Blink cows. Oh my god, blink cows.
With halberds.
Alright, well, thank you guys for playing, and we'll be back next week. See you then, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks.